Everybody, smash the like button.
Hey, that's right, everybody. You smash the like button, GM. Yo, it's JChains. Hope we're doing all right. Welcome to the Web3 Breakfast. Whew, man, cruising on through. Tuesday, July 8th. Woohoo. My brother's birthday was 2 days ago, July 8th. Anything good happen on July 8th in the history of time? Does July 8th mean anything? I don't know. I'm not sure at all. You can see my water bottle right here. Here we go. Make sure if you got one of these refillable water bottles, you are participating in the VeBetter DAO ecosystem. Get yourself a Bubbles passport. And then look here, watch. I'm going to get into there for you. We're going to go to the ecosystem right here. Look, real easy, right? And we can go full screen for just a second. We got, if you guys are, you want to join the space today and shill some crypto, some NFTs, whatever you like. That's the point of the day today. It's a shill fest, day 2. We're running it back. Run it back. That's what we're doing it today. So get yourself the Bubbles passport so you can earn some better token. Fill in your water bottle. Get you the mug shot so you can earn some better token. You just take a little selfie like every day with your coffee cup. There you go. Earn some better tokens. I'm earning tokens every day. And you guys hear me talk about this. That's the chain that I'm absolutely the most active on is VeChain. So that is what is up. But I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. If you do want to come and shill something, all you gotta do is just join the X. You can come into the space down below if you're watching the stream. It's that corner. Oh, you can't even see my pointing to it now. It'd be like down below there. Somewhere here. Yeah. Y'all get it. Y'all get it. But in the interim, man, we can let's go over some news and some numbers if we need to do that. I love that idea. So let's bring it on up. Let's go here. All right, let's new tab here. Let's go to trading view. Let's look at some freaking charts, man. When's the last time we looked at some charts? Let's switch this. Let's go. Boom. We'll edit this just a little bit. Bring that up. Smush it up. Bring it up. There it is. And save. Oh, no, we don't want to do that, actually. Cancel, discard those changes. Let's see. We want to JChains. There we go. That's what we'll use. A little bit in the way of the chart so we can move me over there. Save. Yes. Update. All right. Here's the Ethereum chart. Let's not start here. Let's start on the total. Let's go to the total here. This is the entire market cap. And we'll throw the LeapFrog indicator on there. So if anybody watching the stream wants to see a particular coin charted to see where your VWAP indicators are at, you know the drill. Y'all know the drill. Okay, so the total crypto market cap, 3.32 trillion. Man, I tell you what, that creeped up the 3 trillion pretty quick. Just the other day, I remember we were talking about 1 trillion. Let's see, we got the others chart. This is one of my favorites. The others chart. This is the crypto market cap. This is the total crypto market cap, excluding the top 10. So this is like one of your chart indicators of where you're going to see altcoin season. This, along with the Bitcoin dominance, to me, is going to be the absolute best indicator. What's the word that I'm looking for when there's 2 of them? I can't find it. Divergence, maybe, if that's the right word that I'm looking for. Convergence, maybe, because it's they agree with each other. Because once we see the others start to shoot up, because again, remember, that's just the true altcoins. No Bitcoin, Ethereum, none of the stables, none of that stuff, none of the top 10 in that list. So that's just true altcoin indicator in conjunction again with the Bitcoin dominance, which I'll tell you what, you guys have heard me talk about this, and I will continue to talk about this. I will until it happens. We're going to speak this mother chucker into existence. And that is Bitcoin dominance at 70%. Let me get off the daily. Let's go to the weekly here. I think that's a better one to show you, because there you go. Now you can see 3 times in history, 2018, 2019, 2021. Look at that. We had Bitcoin dominance above 70%. And why this is important is because this is after we had, now I know that we've got a lot more altcoins now, but this is where we had altcoins on the scene, right? And so once we saw that drop from 70 down below here, obviously the second one is not as vicious. Let's bring out this. So, we came down to here, which is 36%. I would say that those days are numbered. We're not going to see a drop like that. Let's go to this one right here. The drop came down to 57%. I could probably see that more likely this run than a 30 or 40. I believe 46 was the last, or 40% was the last one. Let's see. The bottom definitely hit a couple times. We'll say that is right there. 39.5%, somewhere about there. So here we go. That's where we have done in the past. Now we got to take a look at the future. And so what I am projecting is we're going to continue to run up kind of at this pace that we've got, maybe expedited a little bit now that we know some things are coming regulation-wise and acceptance, yada, 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 ETFs, all ETPs, all those kind of things. And so we're going to see this thing run up. It'll make its push to the 70% dominance, 71%. It'll go a little bit over, maybe bounce a little bit, create some volatility, have some fun. But then at some point we drop. At some point we're dropping. And I think that's a pretty good start, somewhere around here. Now, one thing we got to pay attention to when the dominance does drop is, one, the price does not need to drop, because we could pull the charts in comparison that even though dominance dropped from 70 down to say 30, whatever, or 40%, 50%, 58%, whatever, the idea is that the Bitcoin price does not need to drop at the same time. The Bitcoin price can still go up, but it's just the dominance is what goes down. And that's what we need. And so when we start to see dominance fall, that's altcoin season. And but we're going to continue to see it go up. I mean, we've had a few times here, look, this right here was a fun little correction. That was in October. We had another one here in May when we had just a little mini pump, whatever. So dominance doesn't need to drop a whole lot to start to see the altcoins run up just a tiny bit. But if we do see a drop down into the 60s, I'll tell you what, man, that'll be fun. Because if we do zoom in, let's zoom in on this, because we have to look at what December looked like, right? Because we had ourselves a little bit of fun in December. Here it is. See, we circled that. There it is. And so we dropped from about 61% down to 54% dominance. So there you go, right? That was just a few percent, but we all know what the December run felt like. It was like a freaking mini bull run. That was super exciting. So be on the lookout for the others chart to start ripping and the Bitcoin dominance chart to start dipping. But I don't think it's going to happen until we actually get into quarter 3. I think, again, this is Bitcoin's bull run, right? There is no reason for buyer exhaustion at this particular moment. I would think we are still hearing about, sovereign wealth funds, nation states, government acceptance, yada, yada, yada. The list goes on. You guys know, you all read the headlines, and we can go through some if we need to, but the whole idea of we know what's coming, but just prepare for it. That's all. So, you got that. The Bitcoin chart 1086. We broke out of our descending little pattern here. Whoops. Let's go here. Might be time to get back into some trading. Guys. We have officially broken structure. We've tested it a few times. We would love to see another push up. That would be the great indicator that we weren't going to get sucked back down, because there have been times where, it's a falsie. And we don't want a falsie. We want to make sure that, once the market goes up and the trajectory is up, that's when the trading gets a little bit better. It's been a little too crazy. Still, on the way down. If we look at, here, this is what, May. We've had some dips and some rips, obviously some dips and some rips. But if we were to peel this thing back, and this is the Bitcoin price, right? December, when we were up here, when we made our first run at 108, 109, and then we dropped back down to 74. I mean, that was an extended period of time, right? For us to do that whole thing. That got us, from December into April. That's damn near 5 months, right? And so we had a nice little run up, obviously, from April here, and things kind of got stagnant off. It's a consolidation period, is what I would say. We could probably say, all right, we've had some wicks. We could pinch this thing off with, let's get rid of the anomalies, pinch this thing off. It'll come back down to the flag, and then boom. That may be what's going to happen here. We'll hold this thing just like this. We'll take a little screenshot just in case. We got it saved, so we can be like, we knew it. We freaking knew it. XRP. Well, let's do this. Actually, let's throw on the LeapFrog. And if anybody's got any LeapFrogs that they want to see, shout out. If you want to join the stage, we can stop looking at charts and we can talk about meme coins. We can talk about NFTs. We can talk about whatever. I am a-okay with that. That is the point of the morning show, is to just have some fun. All right, let's look at the Bitcoin chart, and let's go on a 48-minute time frame. Let's look at our LeapFrogs. What do we got here? Tight like a tiger. My goodness. Here we go. Stretch it. It looks like we're probably going to see this thing come down. I would say it would make the most sense for it to come down and touch the daily VWAP. So, if you were a shortened man, you could probably put in short. Momentum's pulling it down anyway. Come back down here, recalibrate, and then continue to go back up, whatever it does. Kind of like what it did here. Boom, boom, boom. Be maybe one of those, like boom, boom, because you already done the boom. Now you just got to do the boom, boom. Bada bing, bada boom, baby. All right, XRP ski. Look, it's up at the previous daily. So, the daily starts at 8 p.m. Eastern. We get a new daily. And so when this thing launches, obviously it's going to want to, these are magnets. I'm telling you, they magnet to each other. And so when we, there we go. Crypto Fight Club coming up. At least one of you guys did. Thank you. But so, all right, so you got XRP pulling, probably going to be pulling down to the daily. Sitting down here at 227.57. It's at 229 right now. There's probably got some good short opportunities today to catch a little scalp ski. If that was something you were into, I don't short just because the upside's not good enough. If you were to, throw in a long and you wanted just a scalp on a long, but you caught a runner and it fucking, ripped 10%, great. If you were to think like, oh, this thing's gonna short, and then it just rips 10%, like, no, like we're in the season for a God candle. Like, I wouldn't be betting against the God candle at any particular moment. But Crypto Fight Club, what's up, my dog?
Hey, buddy. Yeah, I mean, if you're offering, I'll hop up here on stage, hang out with you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, what's going on? Shout out to Carrie in the audience. He follows you around quite a bit, huh? I see him.
Yes. So Carrie is my guy. I got a chance to actually meet him in Toronto a couple of years ago. And so if you got a chance to listen to, I did a podcast interview with my guy Jerome last night. Jerome's building a mental health platform for athletes, entrepreneurs. And I just happened to run into him at Consensus in Toronto. It's the whole story. You got to listen to the podcast because the whole story, we both were kind of fatigued from the day, but ultimately gave a conversation one last shot, and it was a renewed sense of, I don't know, life almost, because the conversation and what he's building, where he's going, was so rewarding on so many levels to me that it just made so much sense that, that was the universe saying, quit being a pansy and do what you're there to do.
You know what I respect about you so much is I feel like everything that you stand for is like going after things that are good and like you legit feel right about. Like, it seems like everything that you hard shill, soft shill, whatever, it's just like, it looks like it just feels like everything that you seek in projects is just like feel good, real shit, and I love it.
Yeah, me too. But at the same time, like it hasn't made me any money. Much like if I was a dirtbag like most people, like they all got super fucking rich, pushing bullshit and garbage. But to me, there was a few times where I tried a few things here and there, but it just never worked out, and that's okay, because I would feel terrible about myself if people lost, and I know people lost money on projects we talked about, but it is what it is. And it does make me feel bad, and it'll make me feel worse if I was just, one of those. Listen, I listened to like one of these spaces yesterday from a guy who, he got called out. He disappeared for a while. He came back and he was interviewing someone, and the guy asked him about ETPs, and he said, "What's an ETP?" Like, what? Like, how can you be respected in this space if you don't know what a fucking ETP is, my guy? Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
And so ultimately, like, I am I think that's one of those things that, psychologically, if we want to get into a deep conversation, has probably always got me in trouble, is that I'm a good person. I care about, doing things like the right way with the right people versus just being a fuckwad and taking advantage of people like most people do in this space. We know them all. We know who they are, whether we're affiliated with them or not or whatever. That's just the way it goes. But yeah, I appreciate that. And that is an observation that it means a lot to me that someone noticed. So thank you.
Oh, 100%. Like I made a post today on our timeline that just said what was it, profits are people, and those that pick people, those are going to be the ones that have stamina, and they're going to be here. It might be there's obviously, just like you said, there's obviously like way easier, quicker ways to make money and stuff like that, but I feel like if you do it the right way, like you do, I think that profits will follow with people. You know what I mean?
100%.
And it's like
100%.
slow your roll a little bit, and do what everybody says they do, which is network, make relationships. Like, don't just say that in Web3 that's what your goal is. Actually, like, practice it and do it. That's where the real value is, I think.
I'm with you 100%. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, I almost like need a job today or yesterday. Like, that's how things are at the moment. But like, at the end of the day, like, I've got people who understand in my life, who understand, what I'm trying to accomplish, what I do and what I stand for. And it makes sense. Right. And I've got the support that, I need, thankfully, to be able to continue to do what I need. But man, I'll tell you what, it is so important, like you said, to find the right people. Eventually things will all fall into place. It was funny. I used this quote in the interview with Jerome yesterday. The universe tends to unfold as it should. And I thought that it was from Men in Black, but it turns out it's not. It's like from some totally other fucking Harold and Kumar scene that is like absolutely insane. Like, when I was just like, I was looking for it yesterday to like fact check myself, and when I realized like the scene and I watched the video of like where like this quote that means so much in my life to me comes from, and the scene that he says it, it blew my mind. I was like, man, was I way the fuck off on that. Holy Christ.
You're killing me. What's the quote?
So the quote is, the universe is the quote is, the universe tends to unfold as it should. But the scene is this guy, like, he's in jail, and like this guy's talking about he's arrested for being black. And then he just goes, how he's just like, it's okay. He's okay with it. He's like, the universe tends to unfold as it should. He's like, plus I have a very large penis, so I'm okay with it. And I'm just like, what? I was like, man, that is not literally not how I remembered it. Like, I told the story to Jerome. Like, I thought they were talking about like Orion's belt, like on the necklace, like, really like this is prophetic and this is like, this means something. And like, no, it's like a jailhouse scene. Like, damn, I was off.
Plus, I have a really big penis, so that makes me happy.
It seems like, and that's how the clip ended. I was like, oh man, you got to be hosing me, dude. I was like, I was way wrong. Oh man, it was a good laugh though.
That's a movie I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. Like, that's a one and done kind of a thing. It's funny. You think about that movies, when we were younger, you think about something, you go back and watch something that you loved, and you go back and like, what did I love about this? This is trash.
Yeah. Some of it. I think especially like the comedy ones, I think over time people's sense of humors change more than anything. And especially like also it brings like what's relevant at the time. You go back, I'm a huge fan of like SNL, but you go back 30 years and watch like classic episodes of SNL, and then sometimes you're just like lost. Like, what's funny about this? What is even, what's going on here?
Yeah, it had to be a part of that. It was very time sensitive, I guess. That's true. And you're right. It is a lot of comedies. I will tell you what, Zoolander is one from the past that will never become bad to me. It is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yes, 100%. What is this, a house for ants? It's got to be at least 3 times as big.
Oh, man, the whole thing. That's so many. It's like quote after quote. And thankfully, my wife loves the movie too. So I don't think we've watched it in a while, but I know when we were dating and living in New York City, that was one of those things that was constantly. And it was funny. It was like I had like this weird rotation. At our house, it was Zoolander, and then at my buddy Chris's apartment. Oh my God! Now the name escapes me. It was like a future chick fighters. Oh my God! I gotta think about this.
Another one that does, not to take your train of thought off, but another good one that I think will never get old, that I think is underappreciated, is Me, Myself, and Irene. Like that movie is just epic.
Sucker Punch. That was the name of the movie. Sucker Punch. Anybody ever seen that?
You know what? I don't think I've ever seen it. I remember it coming out, and I remember it being, but I don't ever think I watched it. But if it's good, I'll check it out.
It
Never seen it.
It was one of those movies that for whatever reason, my buddy Chris, his apartment, no matter when, and I'm like, no shit, no matter whenever I went over there, it like you just put on the TV and like it was on, like it was the only thing you could watch at his apartment. It was hilarious. So we watched that movie a lot, smoking a bunch of weed.
So wait, what part of like Harold and Kumar didn't you like? The part where like he was trimming his pubes with his roommate's scissors, or where they were running around on a cheetah high, or when they got to eat the delicious White Castle burgers, or when Neil Patrick Harris came out? What's wrong with that movie? It was pretty good.
I find nothing wrong with that movie. That movie it's just,
it's pretty tight.
I have not seen it in a while.
I know it might not have aged like as well as like things should, but nothing ever ages like, what ages like fine wine when it comes to film?
You know what I'm really
Nothing.
interested
They're getting
about?
rid of movies now that are like the Gone with the Wind, like that shit's fucking done. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't get to watch any old shit anymore.
Okay,
it's all racist.
Let me ask you a question. From what I understand, Happy Gilmore's, is it out or is it coming out this year?
Oh, the new one.
Yeah.
No, it's not out yet, I don't think.
Okay, so from what I understand is that they didn't do like, like every movie now like subscribes to like woke culture and all that stuff. Like they didn't do that this time. Like they went back to like the old school from what I understand, and just kind of like let it go.
Oh, fondle my balls. Like straight up, just went straight crimey with this one.
Just yeah, like who knows? Like old school Sandler, like shibbity-dibbity-doo.
That reminds me of I was in a space following around this new NFT project, not to shill or anything, but they're golf addicts, and some of their NFTs are just like one of them was a golfer that looks like Bob Barker. from Happy Gilmore. It's my favorite one.
That's awesome. What was the name of the project? What chain is it on?
Golf Addicts. It's on Solana. It's like NFT stuff.
Nice. I feel like
definitely.
I feel like it's probably. Do you think we're going to start seeing a bigger NFT season push if altcoin season doesn't come?
Man, I think this whole year is going to be anybody's guess. And we're not going to know until after the fact.
That's what I'm saying. It's a crapshoot from here on out, I think. But all I can say is that I'm not giving up on NFTs as a tech. As far as the tech is concerned, like NFTs is not going anywhere. Maybe like PFPs might not ever reach their all-time highs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that won't like crush me or anything or my portfolio, because I didn't sink an eighth of my portfolio into PFPs. But I think like maybe for the people who are waiting for the Bored Apes and those like blue chips to come back, to make a real comeback, it might be a while of waiting still. Like, I don't even know about this year anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, the closer it gets to like through summer, the closer it gets to like September, the less I start to think that like this fucking, I don't know, man. Like, I'm starting to get like not bearish, but like bearish on an alt season. You know what I mean? Definitely bearish on a meme season. Like, I don't know. Like, NFTs, I can't see going anywhere just because of the technology of what an NFT is and does. But I think I don't know, man. Like, I think I'm afraid to hold my breath for much longer, because I'm gonna fucking, you know what I mean? Not gonna be able to come up for air.
Yeah. What do you think about NFTs with like the utility, right? Like, you know that I'm building out the idea of launching collections tied to, you know, the RWA, the asset that is the business that, you know, gives ultimately, and again, I got to find the best wording for it so it makes sense, but, you know, ultimately gives like,
you want to do something like what Red Planet is doing, man. Like, they're making, like, they took a real world business, they mined Bitcoin, and they turned it into and they tied it to an NFT, and they sell the NFTs to represent a share of the of the project, and so you get paid out monthly based on the success of the project, right?
What's the collection size? Like, how do they operate that?
So the collections, they have a few different collections under the umbrella of Red DAO. They've got 2 that you can stake, and then you can actually buy a slice of ASIC if you want, which they give you it's like a token, like an NFT token. It's not like actual artwork, but you can just, like, if you like the artwork of that, there's a NFT collection called the Red Planet NFT collection, and that's just some cool generated AI generated artwork, and you can stake 2 of those. I think they're $40 American each. You stake 2 of those, and it's like you start earning Bitcoin on osmosis every month. And then same thing with the Adventurer collection. It's pixelated. You might not like that one as much, but it's way cheaper entry. It's like $10 or $16 American to get one of those, instead of $40 or whatever to buy one of the main NFT collection. But where I'm at is like I've tried those and they work. Like, I'm getting paid out. I hold other collections as well that claim to pay out in Bitcoin, but they don't have that real world asset connection, right? They don't have the connection to actual miners, and these miners give them the ability to pay out their holders.
Yeah.
Right. And the NFTs give them, like, the sale of the NFTs give them the money to maintain and uphold the Bitcoin servers. So they're the miners, right? So it's kind of like a two-way street. You've got to figure out what you can give back to the community, right?
Yeah, I've seen the same thing with tokens though. I was just in a shill space the other day with I forget what it was called, but it was something similar where they launched they're a giant mining company, and they launched a token, and they give rewards back to their token holders, and with airdrops, and also buying up the chart.
Nice. I would say that the idea of whether it's a startup, an entrepreneur, or, you know, someone launching a company, going the route of the NFT though is probably the preferred method. I remember an article coming out several weeks ago, and, you know, the whole idea of what Hester Peirce had said was the you know, if Web3 startups want to use, you know, NFTs for fundraising, they do not deem that as a security. And I feel like that is probably ultimately the number one goal of anybody who's launching, unless you're launching, you know, a collection just for the sake of doing it, or, you know, a derivative or whatever, like you know, meme coins and all that stuff, you know, that aside, I think if you're launching, starting an actual business, you know, doing it the tokenization route through NFTs seems to be what is the preferred method coming from the SEC, you know, as far as like your you know, your fundraising goes. So I love that, and that's, you know, that's probably ultimately the route that I will go, you know, when the idea comes to, you know, to fruition, to, you know, to launch these collections, and you know, how it works, and again tied to the real world business, where, you know, everybody gets you get a little rev share or whatever.
Yeah, you buy a slice of what you believe in, right? Of the community.
Yeah.
Like, or whatever the business is that you're building, which seems to be a
are you Carrie, are you
community.
implying that I'm going to do like some sort of a pizza thing?
Oh, I don't know, but like that might not be the worst idea.
No, of course that's where it'll start. It'll definitely start around pizza. And you said the word slice, and that's all I can think of when somebody says slice. I think of pizza.
Oh, damn. You brought it full circle.
You're darn right.
That was, hey man, I have to say props for that for that interview yesterday, dude. Like, thank you for I don't even mind at all. Like, you can drop my name in like that anytime. It's totally cool. That story was touching, and it, like, you know, like basically I thought I felt a teardrop, man. I was like, damn, this is like,
it means a
my
lot.
boy.
It means a lot to both of us, right? Like that's how much it means to both of us. It's like, it's your journey, I know, so it means a lot to you, but you know, for me to have like a front row seat to
but you're a facilitator of that. Like you without you, there would have been, it wouldn't have ever happened. So that's that.
You're my brother from another mother.
Yeah. So yeah, I just got to say thank you for that. And Jerome's name is, I'd like to give him a follow if I haven't already. You got his
yeah, in the post of the video, I tagged him.
Oh, of course. Okay. Yeah.
So he's not big really on X, but he does have the X, and then he's launched now all the social medias for his company's platform. Well, I'm just like,
well, like you said, like it's hard to get people to bat an eye at a project like that, because it's, what's in it for me is everybody's kind of, you know, mantra, and in this scene, and there's not, like in mental health, it's like, what, that's the wrong question you should be asking, right?
Facts.
It's like, how can I help should be the question you should be asking, not what can I take away from this. And that's, like, you know, not always conducive to Web3, but it can be. And so, you know, and it should be. And like, I think those of us that can see that, we're going to make a way, like, you know, bandits in the end, because we're, you know, like, we haven't shut the blind eye or whatever to mental health in Web3, which is huge. Know it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's been, you know, I put mindful wellness as one of the topics on the space for the show every single day, and I do it for a reason. It's because this is
for a reason. Yeah,
you know, I said it in the play. Like, this is, we've always had, whether it's, you know, the ethos or the unspoken rules, even though sometimes we try to speak them out. And then, you know, when you speak them out, things get weird. But like the whole idea of just being respectful and you know, making this a place that, like I said in the show, like yesterday, making it a place that anybody can feel comfortable to come up on stage, and whether they need to articulate their idea or just disagree or whatever, the whole idea of coming here and feeling comfortable to just open up your mic and unmute yourself and just talk. That's the whole goal. That's all I care about.
Yeah, even that the other day there was a little bit of a space killer came in and totally, like, I don't know what the hell happened. We were getting into it, and then suddenly somebody had some pretty serious opinions, and it got kind of dark, and that's okay, because like, you know, like that's why we do this. That's why I know that's why you do this, so that you can give people that voice.
Crypto
So you
Fight
can
Club,
give
not
people
you.
that
Not
opportunity.
you. It was I forget who it was. It was this guy that came in, man, and he took the mic for like 20 minutes and he just like went off. And that was the end.
He just went on a tangent. Yeah, it was a long monologue, and it was very boring. It wasn't fun at all.
Dude, some people just got to read the room, right?
That's it, man. That's it exactly.
If you haven't seen an emoji in 10 minutes, just drop the mic and walk away.
If the room cuts by half, you feel like you're a little long-winded and the room cuts by half, maybe you could just, think about what you're doing. But it's okay. Like, that's the thing. I will never shut. I don't think we've had to like shut some people down because they come in like locked and loaded, ready with like, racial slurs, and like that is not allowed. Like, you'll get muted and kicked out of the room.
Less than 5 times though, probably. In 2 years or 3 years that we've been doing this, probably less than 5 times has that happened.
Yeah.
Where they came in that hot, where you had to like say, okay, whoa, and like kick somebody right off the stage. And that's impressive. And we've had heavily botted spaces where there was like hundreds of people in the space.
Yes.
And so, you know what I mean? And people were like trying their darndest to get like their hands on this $100 or this $50 that we were giving away. And
speaking of, I'm really glad that you just said that, Kerry. So Crypto Fight Club, let's talk about this. So we're going to be giving away some tokens, and I'm thinking on the Friday episodes is the best way to do that, because this way we can incorporate pizza and crypto. And so be ready when we can give away some crypto on Friday.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, hopefully we can make that happen every Friday. What time is your Friday show again?
Same time, 10 a.m.
Okay. Yeah, I think we can probably make that work. It'll be fun. I'm excited, and it'll be fun. I think also for the communities of the tokens that we buy, able to let them know that, hey, your token's going to be, portion of your tokens are going to be given away on JChains show, every Friday. Yeah. So
like they can come and, it'd be another opportunity for them to come and talk about, the project and all that stuff. And we can have a lot of fun. And Fridays, I do the pizza orders. So we'll take everybody's pizza order. That is always fun. At least for me. I don't know if you guys did enjoy it as much as I do, but it's like one of my favorite. Honestly, like, I look forward to the pizza order at the end of the Friday show probably more than most things throughout the week. And I'm not kidding you.
The rest of us are all like, oh man, it's fucking pizza order time again. She's like, yeah.
I mean, I even got
it on.
Hey, make sure you tune in Friday. Come to Friday's show, because we're going to be taking you Mamma Mia, Papa Pia. Time to order the pizzeria. Coming at you Friday.
You're so lucky you're Italian-ish.
No, I'm extremely Italian. I'm probably less Italian than I admit. I'm probably a little bit more Irish than I want to admit, because it's like, I think those two fight each other inside. It's like, are you going to drink whiskey or are you going to eat pizza? What are you going to be? What are you going to be? And the pizza wins 100%. Pizza over potatoes. I didn't mean to say whiskey. It's either potatoes or pizza, because the Irishman in me eats potatoes.
Yeah,
it's not a hard choice to make. Really? That much though? Who loves potatoes more than pizza? That's crazy.
Here we go.
Like, I mean, fries maybe.
This is very situational, but a loaded tater tot with like brisket and cheese and scallions and all sorts of good stuff over a slice of pizza sometimes would hit for sure.
So potato pizza.
No.
Ooh, that's something different.
No way. It's like those fuckers that are putting pickles on pizza. No, I tried that. My sister lives in Nashville. We got one of those Nashville hot pizzas with the Nashville hot chicken and the pickles. And I'm going to tell you what, it was nothing to write home about.
Yeah, you just said you would put tater tots on a pizza. How is that not a potato pizza?
I did not say that I would put tater tots on a pizza.
Oh, sorry, man. My bad.
I say sometimes I would rather eat tater tots than pizza.
Oh,
Speaking
Sacrilegious.
I know.
speaking of pickles, though, I have had I had a cheeseburger pizza one time that had pickles on it, and it was actually pretty good.
All right. I can vibe with that.
I don't know how to feel about that.
I mean,
Yeah, I'd eat it, but
did it have red sauce and everything on it, or did you use like ketchup or barbecue sauce?
Well, I didn't make it, so I'm not sure. But I think it was definitely not the typical marinara. And I don't think ketchup either. But I don't know. There's a lot of Midwest has a lot lot of weird ass pizza.
probably like an aioli or something. It was probably an aioli
Yeah.
mayo.
Come get our aioli, the garlic aioli. There's a place by us that has a Quad Cities pizza, so a Minneapolis or whatever that area is, right? And it is like a taco pizza, and it's got crushed Doritos on it.
Yes.
I've not tried it yet, but
Dude, those are absolutely amazing. And
I
they
bet
like for like the sauce, they use like some of the places will use like refried beans for the sauce. Taco pizza in the Midwest is literally something to write home about. It's amazing. But you have to get it at the right places. If you ever go to like the Casey's like gas station chain, they have really good pizza. Another one that I think is way underutilized for the around the rest of the country is breakfast pizza. I will demolish some breakfast pizza.
shout out to our guy Chris. I know our guy Chris. He is constantly doing the Casey's pizza, so he's about that life 100%. So he understands that. I got to try that. I know we're gonna be. I think so. I told you guys yesterday. My grandmother passed away, and so we'll be taking a trip up to Chicago probably next week. I would think at some point. And so I know that there's probably some Casey's up there. So we'll we'll stop up there. And if anybody's around the Midwest, maybe we'll do a little crypto meetup or something.
Yeah. So the Casey's sausage breakfast pizza, that's the one to get. That
Chris, there you go. Chris threw a comment up on. So
he's always got omelets on his pizza, and
I know, man,
he's
always looks so good. Yeah, one of these days.
I mean, yeah, one of these days with some hot sauce. I guess if you had the right hot sauce.
What's the okay? That's a really good question. What kind of hot sauce person are you? Are you like a Tabasco, like a vinegary based? Are you a Cholula? Are you a Sriracha?
Dude, I'm a lover of all. Actually, you know what? No, Sriracha's word that crosses a sort of a line with me. I can only eat Sriracha on Asian noodles. I don't know why. I don't know if that's racist or something, but it only tastes good to me on Asian noodles. And then the rest of the time, like, I mean, I like a vinegary, like what do you call it? The Louisiana style.
Oh, Louisiana Pete? Or that's Texas Pete. Sorry, Texas Pete.
But
what's
to be honest,
another one that a lot of people like?
Straight heat, like the Trinidad Scorpion, is a staple of mine. Like ghost pepper is like too mild. So like if I was gonna eat eggs on a pizza, it would have to be a scorcher.
I think our tastes are very similar. My number one as far as flavor, believe it or not, is Louisiana hot sauce. I absolutely love it. I think it's amazing. Sriracha, nah, same thing. Asian noodles, 100%. I'll put a little dab of that in my ramen, when I'm feeling lazy, want to microwave something, but no.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah, what about you, big man?
Dude, I am. It's a very situational thing for me as well. I wouldn't say that I'm strictly Sriracha on Asian noodles. Definitely on Asian noodles. Anything Asian gets Sriracha 100%. Like if it's an Asian inspired, Sriracha. There is a few things that it will be all right on that I could tolerate, but I would probably prefer some other sauces, like you guys mentioned. Right now, we're going through this phase in our house where we call them spicy crunchies, and it's like crushed chilies, crushed red chilies, garlic, onion, like in some oil. So it's like this spicy, crunchy mix, and it is fucking delicious. You could chew your finger off with it. It's that good. Like no joke. I'll take a picture.
What's in this? Just chili pepper. Is it fresh? Like fresh chilies, or
no? It's like
chilies?
you like the little red pepper, like crushed red chili, like the little red pepper flakes.
Okay, yeah.
So it's like that with like a bunch of spices and oil. And listen, we've tried every different kind of them, and I will take a picture and I will post it today. It's literally the only kind anybody should buy. You can get it at like Target and Publix. I don't know about any other stores. I know you can get it at Target and Publix. It's the only one that we'll get at this point. It is the best, and we've again tried all the different varieties. They're all trash compared to this particular one. So. But literally good on it. You can have it on pizza. You can have it on Asian noodles. You can have it on Mexican. You can have it on Middle Eastern. You can have it on Italian. You can have literally everything. And put it on pasta. Put it on pizza. You put it on anything. It's a perfect spice and the spicy crunchies, baby. The spicy crunchies.
You got
What is it? The crunch? The little peppers?
So here's the thing.
Or the crunchy part?
I'm not sure because I got all the components myself. I'm such a fan. Like I honestly am putting dehydrated onions on just about anything too, even just to get the crunch out of them because I love it so much. But when I make it myself, it's not the same. And so I've got all the components and I love to put them on like the big granulated garlics, the dehydrated ones. Like that shit's good on just about everything too. What did I make the other day? I just like threw it in the dough, like the burgers. Like you just throw that shit in burgers, and you just get like garlicky, oniony burgers. They're so good with some salt and some pepper. That's all you need. That's all you need. But
Oh man, you're making me want to go raid the freezer now for a White Castle burger.
I had to break my fast yesterday. I made it like 28 hours. 28 hours, and then I was like, I got hangry, and it was just I wasn't gonna make it through the night, and that's usually. After
there's no reason to do that to yourself. What's a good reason to do that to yourself?
To jumpstart a disciplined diet, just to prove that I can be disciplined, and I can. And I thought to myself, this is fucking silly. I'm starving. I'm hangry. Like I can't just be like stomping around the house. That's weird. And so I ate a little something, and I felt a lot better. And so I'm still disciplined, still going to be working out, still making the right choices, still doing the things that I got to do to get ready, fight ready in a few months. But we're gonna do things smartly.
Oh, what was that?
Yeah, that was
a big ding.
That was Whitney adding reminders to the grocery list. We've got 2 new entries. I will tell you. So right now we've got white rice, Benadryl raisins, Costco juice boxes, Costco peanut butter, spaghetti, yeast, contact solution, canola oil, and then the letter P. I think the letter P is from me. So that we don't know what that is. That's a mystery ingredient. But that's the shopping list. So
I want some Benadryl raisins.
You know what? Yeah, the Benadryl soaked raisins. I think the canola oil, she's obviously listening to the show. And so the canola oil is because I used the rest of the canola oil to try to make my spicy, crunchy mix that was a failure. And so she's got to re-up the supply. Because I made like a supply that was good enough for like an entire family instead of a test batch. That's how it is.
And then it didn't go as
we threw it
planned.
all. Yeah, it was just a waste, complete waste.
Oh,
I made some ketchup the other day. I tried to make my own ketchup the other day, and something about the one ingredient that I used, I forget which one. It put such a weird flavor into it. And we're like, oh, we can't eat this. It was like almost like nutmeg or something.
Well, they've spent like 200 years perfecting ketchup. Don't try to make your own ketchup, bro.
But I want to be healthy. We want to do the right thing. It was gross. It was so gross. Like I muscled through, like I put it like, cause we had like burgers and like French fry. We'd make like, we cut up fries and we make our own and we bake them in the oven. And like, I muscled through it, and every bite was like, oh, this is brutal, man. This is disgusting. Like, thank God the girls were able to eat the Heinz, like you said, the perfected recipe that everybody loves. And at the end of the day, there's no high fructose corn syrup. We get like the natural one, all that stuff. So it's fine. But we just like to make our own stuff. But at the end of the day, there are some things better left to the professionals for sure.
Exactly. You don't cut your own hair. Don't make your own ketchup.
I wish I could. I got cousins that can do that. I'll tell you what, dude, I can't even trim
cut
my
own hair.
I wish I could.
Dude, some of those guys that have the perfectly straight beards, like right across, I'm like, how the, like, honestly, man, like they using rulers or like what, like a plumb line. How do you get that?
I want to be able to do, I want to be able to cut my own hair because like I want to be able to do that. But I might just start shaving my head so I can do that. But then I would look silly. So
With just a shaved head and a perfectly square beard.
yeah. Just a fucking strange looking dude. Dude, you look like a pit bull. The fucking blocky head pit bull. Are those labs or are they pit bulls that are block? That's a lab, right? That's blocky head. Anyway.
I think
I have no idea.
I don't know.
It's potato. That's a dog with a block head. Me looking bald is silly. I'm gonna tell you what. I look silly with a shaved head. I've done it a few times in my life. I think it was my 30th. It was either my 30th or I think it was my 35th. My whole family was in town for my 30th. It was my 35th birthday. I woke up and freaked out and shaved my head. And like I remember like yelling to Whit in the garage as I went out to the garage and I was like, "Whitney, get out here and help me. I made a mistake." And it was too late at that point. I had to shave the whole thing. And you guys, I don't think I wasn't doing the whole crypto thing at that point. So we got some new friends up on stage.
I shaved my head one time and my wife didn't know about it because I normally have the lower part of my hair like really short and I was wearing a hat all day. And then and I realized it looked really stupid and I didn't want to show her. So then I was like later that night, I wore the hat all day, all evening. And I was out back for most of it. And then she went to bed early and I went into the bedroom, lights off. And then she just kind of went to caress my hair. And then she was like, "Who's this? What the?"
Oh, dude, that's hilarious. Yeah. Oh, man.
She was pretty pissed.
That is really funny. That's the kind of, it's good humor in life is just to have a little fun. I like those videos where like the dads will shave their beard and like the kids will like freak out. I think we did that to one time to Emmy, and she's like, "What happened?" She was very confused.
Yeah,
later.
The videos of like kids start crying when they see their dad with no beard.
Those are some funny ones. I see we got some new friends up on stage. Was it MBS? What's up, MBS?
Yo, what's up, man? How's it going?
It's going well, brother. How are you?
Not too bad. I been building on an iOS app, so I had to learn how to use Xcode and all that nerdy shit. And it's fucking terrible. I'm not gonna lie.
If you don't mind me asking, what's the app about?
Yeah. So I own a roadside business, right? So I go out when someone, has car issues. It's just gravy work, right? So like tire changes, jump starts. It's primarily like 9 out of 10 times a jump start. And an issue I kept encountering is these people, I mean, after the past 4 years working like downtown Chicago even, these people just have no common knowledge for cars, right? So like no one teaches them, hey, if the lights don't turn on, it's probably just the battery. So I decided to build out a whole app that essentially it's kind of like 20 questions, but it asks you like only like 3 questions to really diagnose it because it's fairly easy.
That's cool.
So like, does the car start? No. Okay. Do any lights turn on? Does the engine slowly make a noise? Does, this, that happen? Okay. And then it goes through a couple more questions to then tell you, well, it's probably just a fault in the ignition switch or the starter relay or this or that. And this way it lets people know kind of a little bit better on what's going on. So in case someone comes out, they can't be like, oh, it's your fuel pump or you got to pay for this and that, it kind of helps bridge that gap between the owner of the car and the engine. So they get an understanding of what's going on so they can't be taken advantage of. I also have an OBD reader on it. So if you got the codes for it, if you want to be an at-home mechanic and fix it yourself, you can use our app to type in those codes. It'll tell you exactly what it is. And it'll give you a little bit of a step-by-step kind of like diagnostic with it, right? So you can kind of cross-eliminate potential, issues. So you can use like, check for a vacuum leak, check for, all kinds of different shit with it. It also has a tracker on there where you can put, your odometer reading and also log when you fill up gas. So you'll put, your fuel tank in there and it's going to track every time you fill up, you'd want to update it, what your miles per gallon are per, whenever you fill up. So it tracks that for you. It also tracks your maintenance. So your oil changes, your tire rotations. And as you, log in, your odometer and like put in whenever you fill up with gas, because you're already sitting at the pump doing nothing. It'll slowly creep closer and closer your oil filter and your tire rotation with an accurate display of miles for when it's due. And then once it's due, it gives you that alert that, hey, you need to get a tire rotation, or hey, you need an oil change. So it's good for people that like to do their own oil changes where they don't have stickers they can just put on there. It also lets you keep track of information such as your warranties, your insurance. Has a little note section. You can put your tire size, all kinds of different stuff like that, just all in one place. And the end goal with it is I plan to do two things, right? So I plan to have an OBD port connector made, which will only be maybe $10, maybe like $9.99 retail. Because instead of it needing to read these codes on a hard device, it'll just Bluetooth to the phone. So you just plug it in, gets power that way, Bluetooth to the phone. So if you like get a check engine light or something, it's going to let you know right away on the phone what that check engine light is and kind of break it down to you, while also then keeping track of your miles. So all you have to do then is just log your fuel, which if it's getting the information from the OBD, you might not even need to. It might be able to just log the fuel that way, because it'll read it in the car's computer. So yeah, I mean, it should be kind of interesting. And then after that, once in a perfect world, once it spreads a little bit more, I plan to launch an NFT with it. Now, why would I do an NFT with it? Reason being is for Carfax, where you can actually NFT your car. And then let's say if you go to a dealership and you buy a used car, well, on our system, you look up that VIN number and see if that individual had, our app or whatever, which if someone did have our app, that'd be super cool, right? But if they did have the app, then that individual will see the NFT of the car with also the prior services. And then the user can also, the prior owner could also put notes on there, saying, hey, there's an electrical issue in this car that I've been fighting for the past 3 years for like the tail light. This way, if it does have issues, you can take it back to the dealership. And if they say, oh, this wasn't a problem before, you can show them the timestamp on blockchain, because it'll be laid out all nice and even, and let them know like, this is the app. And have some kind of fighting chance, right? I mean, at the end of the day, the dealership's going to tell you get fucked, right? But it at least lets you know before you even buy the car, instead of checking just the Carfax, you can also check this to actually get the individual's notes potentially for what problems they faced with it that the dealership is not going to tell you.
Oh yeah, dude, that's sick. I like that. The whole idea of building it, getting kind of the ecosystem built out, and then integrating into the Web3 thing is the smart thing to do. I mean, there's probably a way to build it in the beginning and have people using it or understand. Maybe it's the picture of whatever in the beginning is an NFT, so you can integrate it now, but really push it moving forward later. But I love the whole idea of it's thought of mind, and it's just a regular app that just normal fucking people are gonna have, and with the integration into NFTs and blockchain is smart.
Well, yeah, so I mean, every day I get about 10 to 15 customers, right? Because I have a contract through AAA. So I got the whole north side of Chicago. And my drivers, once the app is out, are going to be shilling it to those people, right? They're going to tell them, like, well, let's definitely use this app. The app is going to be, the first month's free. After that, it's 99 cents. Now, the 99 cents is just stacking to go towards the build out of the OBD readers for a later model. But one thing I'm kind of pondering that I do want to do, though, off the rip, is launch a coin with it. Which sounds, like, oh, that's just a cash grab or whatever. No, in the essence of marketing, right? Let's say, for instance, if I had if I just launched this app and I went around telling people, yeah, I could probably get people to download it, right? But if I build a community through crypto, for whatever reason I've noticed is for crypto, people are a lot more analytical. They're a lot more engaged with the product. So I can actually then get reviews and get fucking feedback that I can talk to these people and ask them like, all right, what issues are you encountering now? And they can feel confident about this app because I'm actually talking to them. I can build live the updates needed. And then that monthly, about half of that every single month is going back into the chart in a buy and burn feature.
Oh,
so it's going to incentivize the users to go shill it to their friends and family, because even though it's helping their friends and family, right, it's also then integrated into Web3 and IRL. Because even though their family might not mess with crypto or Bitcoin or any of that shit, their app they're using is now feeding back to your bags to help pump them up.
Oh,
Which I'm hit or miss on it, because it's like, if someone told me that, I'd be kind of weary. I'd be like, oh, well, why do you really need a coin? It's just, I look at it in the marketing essence of it's ideal for getting the product out there, right? Instead of me making some bullshit GoFundMe, I feel a lot smarter to go this route because it's going to garner a hell of a lot more people compared to a GoFundMe. And it also will give me a lot of valuable data points that people can tell me, and users that use the app, that, hey, I had an issue here and here. And it's like, all right, let me go check it out now. Instead of getting a bad review off the rip and then having to deal with it later.
oh, dude, that's sick. I may be up in Chicago next week. Let's connect offline and maybe find some time to connect. I think that'd be interesting. I like where this is going, man. It's great that you popped in and told us about this. I grew up in Naperville, so I'm gonna be up there to see some family probably next week.
Oh, I went to Central.
Yeah, I went to North. Graduated in 2000.
Fuck you. No, I graduated in fucking 17. I went off to the Marine Corps.
Nice, man. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your support. Do you know where the fucking the recruiting station is? That's for Naperville. It's like off by. It used to be an MMA place underneath. I don't know the fucking streets of. It's by North though.
Yeah, it's over off Ogden, and I lived in Crest Creek, so it was like right at Ogden, and I don't know if that's Royal St. George or whatever that is right there. Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, right across from the little fucking train track.
And there was the Lover's Lane, the dildo factory, like right had the big shop.
Yeah, it's right next to Lover's Lane. Yeah. Yep, exactly. Yeah, that's where I trained out of.
Nice.
It
was, dude. It was.
Yeah, there's
like an honest to God dildo factory.
No, it was like an intimate erotic store where you can get like lingerie and toys and shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ! I just had this image of
as well in the same strip mall with an MMA place, a very off the wall fucking shopping center.
Yeah. At one point, I think there was a Hungry Howie's in there. So we used to growing up, the Chinese kitchen, the Chinese restaurant, it's in there. Like me and because we lived like in that neighborhood right behind it. That's where I at the Crest Creek Country Club is where I caddied. That's where I had my first job. I worked an entire summer and bought myself a Fender Strat. Yeah, there was a Chinese food restaurant, Chinese kitchen, man. We used to go there all the time. That's a long time ago. I'll have to check that out while I'm there.
Small world.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, dude, let's connect. I'm probably gonna be up there next week. So
okay, for sure. Yeah, let me know. I'm currently in Downers. Got an apartment out here.
Nice. Always down to make crypto people. That's for sure. Let's see. Sato, you popped in here. What's up, G?
Hey, what's up, people?
What's up?
Yeah,
How are you?
I just got a question. Before I start talking further, I just wanted to ask I forgot the name of the last speaker. I just had a question regarding the OBD devices that you're using. Are you using some kind of branded devices, or is it generic Chinese OBD readers? Because I don't like putting them in my car.
No, so it wouldn't be reading. So it wouldn't be like one of those. So it would be a made one, right? Probably from China, right? But it's not going to steal your information. There's no connecting to like one of their devices, right? It's Bluetooth only to our app. That's only going to have a specific code to read from it. So it only gives you the P codes, which is powertrain codes, along with the fuel information and odometer. There's not going to be any kind of GPS tracker or any of that crazy shit inside of it.
Thank you, man. That's what I wanted to know. Yeah,
So,
let me give you a brief intro about myself.
Yeah, please do.
Sorry, man.
No, good. Please do.
Yeah, so my name is Nemanja. I'm fully doxed. I'm based in Germany. I come from Serbia. I've been in crypto space since 2020, actively managing projects. So I'm very easily verifiable. I'm completely doxed. You know, one of my other projects is Pop Dog. Most of you guys know about it. We just reached like 22 million. Started from 30,000 market cap last year. So I've been in the space for the past 5 years. I was managing Risk Moon in 2020. We reached over 100 million market cap on BSC. Then I continued with Deep Space Game in 2020, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, still ongoing. We were second in Binance Most Valuable Builder hackathons out of 230 projects. So I've been in the space for quite a long time. Sato is my latest play. So few months ago, I was randomly buying some DGM plays on Solana, and one of my friends texted me, and he said, "Yeah, you gotta come here and you gotta check out what's happening in Sato." I said, "Like, what the fuck you talking about? It's 22 market cap, 22,000 market cap. It's been rugged by the developer and so on." And so I met a senior developer from IBM who was actually rug pulled. He's an .NET engineer, Azure engineer, and he built me the most efficient and pretty much cheapest volume bots on whole Solana ecosystem. Our applications are free to enter, free to access. You can just deposit your SOL, do whatever you want. We are so much more cheaper than Fatality, Solarba, Odin, Orbit, you name it. We can undercut anybody in existence. And yeah, I would like to announce that tomorrow we're launching our volume ranking bots for Sui. So yeah, that's small news.
Boom. You heard it here, folks, ladies and gentlemen. Dropping alpha. That's tomorrow, you said?
Yeah, nobody heard it before. You're the first.
Hey, there you go. Appreciate that, man. Crypto Fight Club, you got a question?
Yeah, my ears perked up a little bit. I heard you say that you were affiliated or something with Pop Dog. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm still part of Pop Dog. I'm actually the marketing lead. I've been there since the start. Me and Street Biker were part of the original community takeover team. He's still there. He's actually Pop Dog lead. He's with me since 2020 across different projects. You can DM me him about me.
Yeah, I gotcha. No, I've been in Pop Dog for a long time. I used to have a giant bag of Pop Dog. So
Nice, man.
I know Street Biker pretty well. Got him in the DMs. We've actually collabed quite a bit throughout the time. So it's nice to see, OGs still around kicking and doing their thing. So that's cool.
Likewise, man.
Yeah, hit me up in the DMs. Actually, I would be not for myself, but I have we're a collaboration project, and I actually have a couple of people asking me about volume bots right now. So not for our project, but I do have a couple, and I'd like to send you their way.
Yeah, I shot you a DM like a few weeks ago. I just saw it, but you didn't see them, so I just shot you a DM again.
Oh,
yeah, everybody can vouch for me. Basically, whatever you find on Solana, I'm gonna give you a better price than what they have.
I gotcha. What would you say what would you say would be the typical volume per like SOL?
So at this moment, volume per SOL is around 57 to 60,000 volume per single SOL.
Okay. What size of transaction usually?
Regarding transactions, regarding the ranking bot, we're able to do between 35 and 45,000 transactions per single SOL spent. So basically, how we operate, produce from blockchain minus 0.05 SOL per bot startup, or 2% maximum. So we operate with between 1 and 2% fees. It's ridiculously low. That's why we are able to undercut everybody. And just for your peace of mind and a fun fact, we actually reversed engineered Orbit, Solarba, and Fatality more than a few months ago. So I know exactly how each volume bot in Solana operates.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, good to hear from you, man.
Yeah, appreciate you being here. Thank you. Thank you for the information. Guys, make sure you check out these projects. Kings, what's up, brother?
What's going on, everybody? It's Taco Tuesday. How's everybody feeling?
Hey, I didn't even realize that. It is Taco Tuesday. Man, I hope we're having something on a tortilla. Last week, man, what do we have? We had like fajita. I had myself so I did a double tortilla. We had like a fajitas, chicken and steak, but I threw a hard shell inside of my soft shell and had that thing rolled up like was that a crunch wrap? A double cruncher or whatever?
Yeah, it's like
Gordita.
a crunch wrap, tortilla, or whatever.
Potato. Crunchy. It was crunchy.
Mm-hmm. talking about food made me hungry. I don't know. Did you ever try a whole roasted lamb on a stick? It's the fucking best meal I ever had in my life.
I do love some lamb,
Yeah.
dude, for sure.
You don't have that in America.
Nope. You definitely gotta go some other places to get that roasted lamb, but that is delicious, man. You ain't lying. You ain't lying about that. Usually any of those roasted meats, man, the rotisserie pig, the cow, whatever. That's just good. Low and slow, as they say.
Here, I gotta pop out JChains, but I'll be in contact with you. I know we both follow each other, so just hit me in the DM whenever you're available, and definitely I'm down to meet up, get some lunch or something.
Hell yeah. Sounds good, brother. Have a good rest of your day. I didn't even realize it was after 11. We hang out for a little bit. I'm good with that. What's up, Matty J?
I'm an ex-butcher from New Zealand,
Mm.
and I can say that lamb is just the best. I eat lamb as much as I can, but oh my God, it's so expensive in Europe.
That was the, if anybody heard that, that was the grocery reminder to get tortillas. Clearly, we're talking about some things that are necessitating some grocery listings today. We've got canola oil because I've wasted all of it, and now tortillas for our dinner.
Possibly some lamb.
Ooh, we should have some lamb tacos. The lamb taco sounds good.
Apparently lamb is like not so bad with just salt and pepper on it. I've never had it myself, so I don't know, but like apparently just like a little salt and pepper.
Lamb?
I don't know.
What's lamb?
Ram lamb. I don't know.
Dude,
it's like
dude,
lamb that comes from a ram.
Nah, dude, we're not eating ram. We're eating lamb, not ram. No way.
You're talking about mutton.
Mutton. Yeah. Mutton.
I guess so.
Mutton busting. You guys ever seen that at the rodeo? Mutton busting? No?
What kind of rodeo? None of the Calgary Stampede, no.
Yeah, people don't understand what this is. So the mutton busting is like 3 to 5 year old children will ride sheep or mutton, and they ride them bareback, and it's like, how long can they hang on? And these things, they'll spank the sheep and they'll go off running. And how long?
Oh
can these kids hang?
we got little pony rides, dude. They ride ponies up here, miniature ponies. They don't ride the rams. That's hilarious.
They put on like full helmets and cages, and they just go, and these kids get thrown off.
Yeah, they get the helmets on, and these guys, and they just love getting drug around in the mud. That's what they say. I love watching other kids get drug around in the mud.
Believe our James.
Dude, my favorite is when they take like the rodeo that they have in the Midwest where I'm from. They always take like $100 bill and tie it to the horn of a bull, and then they'd let it go, and then everybody from the audience would hop the fence and try to go get the $100 bill off the bull's horn. And there would just be people getting tossed. It was madness. It was entertaining to watch though.
Yeah, it's natural selection. That work. $100. Let's get her.
Hit the flow. Shody got low. Some of you said about the getting them jeans dirty made me think of, I was thinking of Wrangler jeans, but then the mind went to apple bottoms, and then that song had to be played, or else it would have been brain rot all day if I didn't hear that. So thank you for entertaining me, yo. Thank you. And I think on that note, I killed the space.
He's got some Wrangler jeans.
Them Wrangler jeans, the big thin flannel.
We're gonna be watching the Calgary Stampede. It's actually on right now. Like the Calgary Stampede is in full swing. It's like day 3 right now. So I'm gonna be singing that fucking song all day long now. She's wearing Wrangler jeans.
Them boots.
That girl is looking at me. I don't know words.
Hey, that works, man.
Some of the, yeah.
Apple bottom jeans.
That's it.
Them cheekies.
And then some about fur boots. For boots.
And she was low. Shouty. Yo, shouty. All right, shouties. What's up, my shouties? I see a couple shouties in the crowd, you know. And on that note, I have completely murdered this space. It is time to go for the day. I got to rethink my thoughts and come back with a better attitude tomorrow. We've got Adventure Bound coming to represent the TradeMaster Ninjas, what they got going on. So they got some updates to what they're building with their platform. So make sure you guys are tuned in for that. I dropped a video this morning on my top 3 under the radar RWA projects: Plume, Centrifuge, and Goldfinch. Make sure you guys check that video out. If you can, give it a comment and a like. I would appreciate that. Smash the like on your way out of here. Anybody got any final words before we shut it down for the day? That's it. Shiny Gal, what's up, fam?
Nothing.
Hello, Shiny Gal.
Oh, we gotta hear her giggle before we close the space.
Great job, radio. Oh God, James,
GM, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Doing fine. I'm hearing myself.
All right. I love this. I love that.
So it's late already, so let's just say hello to the house. James, Terry, Matty, Christopher. I thought Christopher ready. Christopher, so Sandra, not Ev. Everybody in the space. This is my first time seeing this. So surely the next time I'll be here. It's just Shiny Girl, and then stay positioned. So see you guys later.
Thank you, Shiny Gal. Appreciate you popping in here. I may need someone to translate what you said, but I appreciate you being here.
I think it shows rugging a little bit.
A little ruggy, but come back and hang out with us. We'll be back tomorrow. I appreciate everybody. Thank you guys for coming up on the stage. Thank you for listening. If you did watch the stream, smash that heart, tag some friends on your way out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. Again, we got a special guest, 10 a.m. We'll see you for breakfast. But until then, remember, do anything that you can to improve yourself, even if it is just 1% or whatever. Just do what you can. That's the whole goal. Every single day, continue to try. Remember, we know that there's days that it's not going to work, but as long as you put in effort, one of these days you will reap those rewards. They will come back to you thoroughly. But until then, we'll see you tomorrow.